And I'm going to request to share.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Three
Thank
to
you.
go. Multiple. Yep, you got it.
All right. So here's what we're reading when we do eye talk sessions. You can see there's all inside here.
But
There's all the
you,
organs and everything.
it
Can
has
y'all
yet to
see?
share. No, it
No,
has
no.
yet to share.
Can y'all see? Yeah.
No.
I don't see your screen, but I did give you, oh, hold on. Oops,
Oh, here
oops.
we go. I got it.
Oh, Mark, sorry about that.
There we go. I got it now.
Okay.
You can see now. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what we're reading inside the eyes, all the organs and everything, and you can tell what's going on with the people's heart and thymus and spleen and bones and kidneys and constipation. I mean, everything is available to be seen in the person's eye on the physical side. Um, and this is a typical iridology chart, pretty much, of what's going on in here. And so normally when people do iridology, they look at this and they give people recommendations to be able to do herbs or something to help the degradation of those organs. What we're doing here is we're working with the emotional components here that are all around here. And as we do so, the person's eyes change, and they can change very, very quickly. When the how deep am I going to go in with you guys? Um, Generally, like some people may come in like with really dark eyes, and as they do the work, their eyes will get lighter and lighter, and eventually they will turn from brown to a different color, like green or blue will start to show up in the person's eyes. Everybody has blue eyes. They may have brown over the blue, but everybody has blue eyes. And that coloration is belief systems that have been passed down in your lineage. And so it's all these systems, like Bruce Lipton wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, and he says DNA is malleable. So the stuff we're doing here is changing DNA structure. So I'll show you a person's eyes at the beginning of body electronics and their eyes at the end of body electronics. You see these two eyes, yes? See this? Okay. So quite a bit of difference here. Notice the big people here. Notice the pupils begin to shrink here, yes? Also, this one's actually blown up a little bit. There we go. You can also see the pupils misshapen here, and it's also starting to round out here. Also see how clumpy the fiber is here and how the fiber is beginning to thin out here. Also see how wavy it is here and how it's beginning to straighten out here. Also, see this stuff here compared to over here. And this little spot here compared to this spot. So same person's eyes, 4 days apart, and I'll tell you what all this stuff means. Basically, the pupil is our soul, or you can say like our core being, and the sclera, the white part of the eye, is our outer world. And the fibers, these little stringy things, represent how energy moves from the fourth dimension to manifest in the 3D world. The straighter and denser the fibers are, the more
Can you
effective the
say that
person.
last part again about the 3D world and those
Yeah,
fibers?
yeah. So the straighter and denser the fibers are, the more effective that person is being able to have something manifest like what they're choosing. Like like you may choose something, but somehow or another, when you get the manifestation, it's kind of like, what the heck, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're asking for things and you're not getting a clear reflection of what you believe you're asking for. So all these anytime there's a deviation here, a fiber that goes like this, where if the fibers don't go all the way out, or if they're wavy, or if they're this, or you're going through this filter, it's affecting the way the manifestation occurs. It's also affecting the way you're getting information from from the world to yourself. I'm going to put up on one more set of eyes real quick, just so you can, because this will be easy for you to understand. Whoops, that's other than easy for you to understand. Where am I? Where is all this stuff? No, no, no. Well, check all my pictures. Look at my raccoon. There we go. All right. So see these little tree ringy looking things here? So remember, energy has to come, or in other words, communication is going to go through what I call filters. Like like I can say red, 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 and the person can hear blue, 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 blue. It's because they're filtering information. When people have these tree ring looking things in their eyes, this is negative self-talk. So in other words, if I was to give this person a compliment, go, "Wow, you look beautiful today," they may respond with, "What? I didn't look good yesterday," or "What do you want?" Because their self-talk is changing the way that they're hearing that, then they can't receive a compliment. And if I give them correction, go, "Hey, can you make sure you put the cap on the toothpaste? I can't do anything right for you." So they can't hear what's being said. They can only hear what their filters are allowing them to hear. This making sense, folks? I bet y'all know people like this. Maybe you've had this reaction. So what we're able to do is find the filters a person has that's changing that information. In other words, the lies they're living in. So, and if somebody has a bunch of negative self-talk and they can't receive a compliment, guess what else they're having a hard time receiving? Money. And since information is going to pass through that on the way in and also on the way out, like this person's tone of voice, they may think they're speaking really nice, but their tone of voice is going to have like a bitchy or whiny or complaining tone to it, because no matter how pure they believe they're speaking, it's going to go through that "I'm not good enough" or "life's not fair" belief system, and it's going to change that person's that's it's going to change the tone of that person's voice and the way they're presenting themselves. So imagine if you're trying to enroll somebody in your MLM and you got these things going on, you're going to notice that you have this, and you're going to be repelling this business. Making sense? Just please say yes. All right. So when the person has this level of big pupil, this is the person's adrenals are shot. This person was in a high state of overwhelm. When the person has this misshapen pupil like this person had trauma early on in life, and this is left eye was with a female. When they have this clumpy fiber, this is emotional. It can also equate to physical pain in their body. And so they're in a heightened state of pain. They're in a heightened state of overwhelm. And when the fiber's wavy like this, they're also compulsive or OCD. And what I mean by compulsive or OCD, they're trying to control everybody in their outer world because they can't control themselves. So they're blaming everybody else for pissing them off or whatever, whatever. And so they're trying to control people in order to regulate their own body chemistry when they're the person in charge of their own body chemistry. They're also looking for, whenever I have X amount of dollars in the bank, I'll finally feel secure. Whenever I have the perfect relationship, I'll finally feel love. But they're living life backwards. So we can find all these filters of how people are processing information and change them in a very, very short period of time to where that person's life shows up completely different, and the results they're producing, instead of producing a result through those filtered responses, they're producing results based on what they actually love. You can see this stuff down here. This is resentment. This is also it's also high levels of cholesterol in the body, and this is kidney function. You can see this, and kidneys are about partnership and forgiveness. So you can see all the healing that person has done. within 4 days. This was taken 10/21. This was taken 10/25. 4 days, totally different person. Same body, totally different interactions, totally different way she showed up in class. This person was full of anger, resentment, and hate. This person was pitching in, helping everybody. This person hated men. This person comes up and gives me a hug and tells me how much he loves and appreciates me. Way, way different behavior, way different tone of voice. And the velocity of what we're producing here is amazing. And like I said, a lot of times people make all these behavioral changes without even knowing they made the changes until I call their attention to them. So somebody may come into class speaking 80 to 90% knots. And by the way, the word, when somebody is speaking a high percentage of knots, the higher this percentage of knots a person is speaking in their life, the higher their level of anxiety they have in their life. And if you're around somebody who's anxious, who has a lot of anxiety, you think they can close a deal? Hell no. People buy from people they trust. When somebody's in a state of anxiety, they ain't buying from that person. That person's not comfortable in their own skin. Why would you be comfortable with them? Right? Making sense? When somebody is speaking knots, it's also a sign of suppressed anger and resentment. So what happened is they had a trauma in their life as a kid, and in order to survive that trauma, they have surrounded that trauma with a whole bunch of not statements. Life's not fair. That shouldn't have happened. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I don't know what to do, whatever. And they used that knots. All those knots became a separate identity for that person. And they've been living their life as their not self. And all they can do when they're in that not self state is survive. They may be able to survive at a little bit better levels, but they're still going to be neurologically in survival no matter what they have. They're still in that fight or flight mode. So what we're doing here is shifting all that until that person comes into a greater levels of state of ease, trusting life, having gratitude for life. And one of my favorite words is reverence for life. They begin to have reverence for life, capital L life. And when they do, everything changes. Questions, comments? Come on, guys, get your voices working. Yes,
Jackie,
ma'am. Get your microphone.
she's on her phone, so it takes
There you go.
Hi, it takes me a
Okay.
minute or so. Oh my God, this is amazing, amazing information. I was trying to take a picture of my eye, but I couldn't get it. My eyes are so dark. Because I've been struggling. So Marisa and Jess, Dr. Jess, thank you so much for finding these guys. And oh my God, when are you coming to Phoenix? Or
February, I believe it's the first weekend in February. And
okay, I'll be there.
cool.
Yep. Do you have the dates yet, Mark?
First weekend in February, whatever that is.
Oh, first weekend. Okay.
It's my birthday weekend. So
Awesome.
The 7th, it'll be the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Let me make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is fabulous. So I'm a nurse and I'm a patient advocate, and I'm always looking for new modalities and to help patients and clients. And but I also I appreciate that you were sharing about your childhood, Mark, about your trauma and stuff like that. I had a lot of trauma, and honestly, since I started the Mind Body, my life has totally shifted. That new product, I don't know what it did, but that really helped me, but I know there's another level I need to get to. So I'm excited about learning more about this.
Awesome. It's like I said, it's the fastest thing I've seen. And I still look at what other people are doing. And so there's a language of unity and there's a language of separation. When we're speaking I am not, that's the language of separation. When we're speaking in positive and negative, that's duality, and that's still in separation. As far as I can tell, every other modality is still using the language of separation to try to heal the issues that speaking the language of separation has caused. So when you begin to use this to speak the language of unity, it will rewire your brain, and instead of finding things that are wrong, the subconscious will start to provide you with solutions at a greater and greater and greater levels of effectiveness. As you
That's
do
exactly
so,
what I need. I try, and I have those issues. So thank you. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this.
me too,
Good job, Jackie.
me
Desiree.
too. It's a touting our own. It's amazing how life really works. I wish I was taught this when I was a kid, because man, and I've enjoyed the journey of finding it now. When I was going through it, not so much. Now, oh my gosh, I'm glad I took the path I took, because I can hang with anybody. If you got substance issues, I can work with you. I did drugs for 25 years. I can hang with, I mean, I was 15 years ago, I had an embezzlement in my company, lost a bunch of money. One day I pulled in my garage, closed the door, and left the motor running. So I've come from way down to be where I am now, and I am lit up. So this has changed my life tremendously. Yeehaw.
Mhm.
I think Desiree had something too.
Go ahead, Desiree.
I was gonna ask about so the eye pictures, and so do you have to do the, like, is that included in, like,
All the
whatever that is? I mean, I don't know. I'm still
and,
kind of
and
like
all the
learning.
in-person
So
classes.
how does it work? Like, how does that actually work if you're just doing like online versus like in
We don't do
person
our
or
photos
different
online
things? Okay.
unless somebody can go to a place that has a camera is the quality that we're using here. But all of
Gotcha.
our in-person classes, we do our photos, and that's included with it.
Okay.
Whenever I did other modalities, I would go through a class, be lit up. They give you a spank on the butt, and go come back again in 3 months to do some more classes. I saw people come out lit up. I'll take it myself. I come out lit up, and then I would go down. So what we're doing here is we're taking great care of people on the post-class stuff. We include all these things in their class pricing, because I know what it takes for somebody to stay in this and continue to move up. The greater we take care of our clients, and the greater the results they produce in their lives, the greater amount of referrals we're getting. Our business has grown by referral. We're just now starting to, like, we went to that trade show. That's the first time we've ever done anything out, because one of the things I had to make sure that we had a team of people and the structure to be able to handle people come in, because once people get a taste of what we're doing, they start to refer people in. And I'm going to make sure that we have a set of standards here that we can make sure everybody operates in a way that reflects the standards of Encompass Life. And so we're putting together a team of coaches, and we just launched the basics in Spanish. We got people who translated the Spanish, the basics into Russian, and they're also translating it into Dutch. They have a way; those two people still have a ways to go to be able to lead that class to my satisfaction. But we're going to be launching in multiple languages here.
Desiree, the online classes, everything we do includes at least one private coaching session. It would just be, oh, no iPhotos. And there's plenty. We're continually playing with tone of voice, language patterns, body language. You know, somebody's up here doing this, or had a lady this morning, I was working with her, and she reaches over here, no idea she's doing it. She's over here going like this. Like, all of that is translatable. Your body's hardwired for truth. So we have a lot of tools under our belt that we're playing with all simultaneously. The eyes are just a tool. Yeah, and they're cool. They're cool. And you can see the change versus someone's subjective experience they're expressing. With the eyes, you can actually see the change. Although we do have some neuroscientist type people coming in who measure brain functionality and some other things like that we're in conversation about doing some whatever the testing is, however that works. That's kind of outside my skill set at the moment, and I love doing what I do, and then they can just do their version. So, yeah.
Yep.
Well,
And I can talk to somebody. I can tell you what's in your eyes before I ever take the eye photos, just by the way you respond to information. So I mean, it's so accurate, and I guess I can tell whether you have wavy fibers or whether you have resentment, whether you, I mean, all those things. Like even the people, even like the area right around the people, I can tell you what's going on with all of that. I can tell you what cravings you have, if you crave chips or if you crave sugar or if you any of those things, just by the tone of your voice. I can tell what's going on with you. And in a matter of seconds, like we could have somebody walk into the room to sit down in a chair. And I can tell you what's going on with them. It's that accurate. It's amazing. Yep. Anyway,
We're hopping off, guys.
all righty.
Michelle,
See ya.
thank
Yeah,
you
you're
so
welcome.
much. Appreciate you.
Super fun.
Cody,
Thanks for having
Barb,
us. on.
Dolores, thank you for being on. Jackie, of course, and Desi, thank you for being on. Any more questions, you all? Please feel free. I can stop recording.
Awesome.